blah, blah.
Hi, Igor from Third Wave.
Hi.
Thanks for having us.
Sure thing.
You are the founder of Third Wave, a
Strategic and research consultancy for the new normal, which is a very fancy way of saying that we are involved in a lot of different topics, which we try to accomplish with just 2 people.
When did you get started?
About 6.5 years ago, October 2010. We were focused mostly on digital and social media strategy, but quickly evolved into more consulting and process-driven business part where we are focused on team design, org design, helping companies, organizations to achieve digital transformation in a more sustainable way.
And what are the challenges that you have been experiencing throughout your work?
Well, multiple, I guess, where to start. I guess the biggest problem is we're focused on sustainable work and long-term change, and most of our potential clients, at least, when they come to us, have a very specific problem that they want to solve without understanding that that problem that they're trying to solve is embedded in a much larger context of problems or issues that they have to address before they can approach the kind of singular point project that they want to do. Just building an app isn't enough. You have to build an organization that can actually run this app, that can actually understand what it's doing, that can run a service in a long-term way. And that's hard because most clients aren't in that area. They are not actually interested in that because their organization is built around very short-term goals. Often they feel that the obvious kind of solution, a product or service, is what they need, but what they need is an actual transformation of the organization that they are running.
What is your vision of the future, and how do you work yourself through it while working with your clients?
You can build organizations around the idea that you have to adopt very quickly and that you have to find ways to working together which are not dependent on pretending to know the future. The actual innovation part, it's building an organization that can actually not come up with an idea. That's easy. It's the how you apply it over a longer time, which is actually a lot more significant to measuring innovation, at least to us.
How do you envision the future of societies?
So universal basic income, it definitely isn't a solution for every problem, but it at least provides the kind of infrastructure that we need to explore different solutions for very complicated problems. It's a huge conversation around this idea, and it is basically considered by both the left and the right side of the aisle. So for conservatives, actually one of the first people to suggest it on a very high level was Richard Nixon in the United States. They just described it as a negative income tax. And so it's not something that's kind of like a lefty Marxist idea. It's actually something that on both sides of the aisle people discuss very significantly at this point. And you can see that in the Netherlands, the Finland will try something like that out. There are a lot of experiments going on. So I hope we can come to that in a very democratic process that will enable governments to do it. How long will it take? I don't know.
Okay, you have already been to Hub Odessa?
Yes.
Yeah, how did you like it so far?
I was impressed. It's a lot bigger than I kind of imagined it. I don't know why I imagined it to be smaller, but it's also very big. When you walk into Odessa Hub, and in the basement there are people working on drones, and upstairs people are hanging out in front of computers. So if you would have taken photos inside of the hub, you probably wouldn't be able to differentiate between Berlin or Odessa, except for the very mixed people that I have seen in Odessa. But the context of the city is obviously very different. Although there are probably also similarities, because Odessa is in Ukraine a bit of an outlier, and Berlin is definitely not a good city to represent what Germany is. So in that case, they have similarities as well.
If you would have 10 seconds to give one very precise advice for the youth in Ukraine or in Odessa, which steps to take to move towards an impact or a challenge?
Right. Well, our mission statement for Third Wave is giving people agency in the digital world. And that's what I would recommend having to everyone, having the ability to really understand your own context in which you operate.